hello there, and welcome everyone to my second Q&A. The feedback from the first Q&A was fairly positive, so I thought to make a second one. Why not, right? Now, before we get into the questions, I would like to address a couple of things. In my last Q&A, I said some things that were a little strange, perhaps, at least to some of you. Some of you who maybe do not know me that well. So, let me clarify some things, well, two things. First off, no, I am not a sex offender. I just said that because my brain sometimes thinks it's funny. I know I have a tendency to say stupid shit like that without really making sure to people that it's a joke. The rest of the Q&A was all true, though. Oh, the second thing, of course, is assassinating my cat to steal her identity. Also not true. I love cats. I do not assassinate them whatsoever. I do not hurt. I love cats. Cats are amazing. Cats are so fluffy and they're cute and I love cats. Cats are awesome. The whole assassinating a cat thing was a joke. Just so you know, just to be clear. I guess I'm just bad at comedy or just bad at Q&As in general, but that sure as hell won't stop me from making this one and possibly more Q&As in the future, depending of course on what the response will be. But enough about whatever I was talking about before, let's jump into the first question. And the first question comes from Mr. Hugh McCabe, or McCabe. McCabe? I don't know. You can read it on the screen. He asked, Dolce, pick me please. Also, what is your favorite platform to play on, your second and your third favorite? Okay, so my all-time favorite platform has to be the PC. Now, some of you, especially the console players, may be having a small diarrhea attack when I say this, but let me explain why. And also, you need to know that I've been on PC since last year, January, and before that, I've been a console gamer my whole life. Now, the reason why my favorite platform is the PC is, of course, because of the customizability. Not only your PC parts, but in-game as well. You have a lot more options, and I love it. I love customizability. And, of course, the game library. You have a whole bunch of games on a PC that will probably never see the day of light on the consoles. Awesome games like DayZ and, like... Okay, DayZ's the only game I can come up with, but yeah, awesome games on a PC. Also, games are so cheap on the PC, like really cheap, like Steam sales cheap, and that's really cheap, guys. Now, for my other favorite platforms, I can't really say because I switched to PC when I still had my PS3 and my 360, which were still relevant back then. But now that you have the new consoles, which I do not own, but I have tried out, I'd have to go with the PS4 as my second favorite because of the exclusives, such as Metal Gear Solid, Dark Souls, or even games like Heavy Rain, which I'm very fond of. And along with other exclusives that for some reason I cannot remember. Also the fact that PS4 titles tend to run at a higher resolution, which makes me lean towards the PS4 a little bit more. Which I will get someday, by the way, probably when Metal Gear Solid releases. And my third favorite platform will have to be the Xbox One, or the Xbone, or the X1, or whatever the cool kids call it these days, because it's pretty much the only one left on the list, I guess. Not to shit on people who own one, or who like the console. It's just that I never really found the Xbox One really all that interesting, but that's just my personal opinion on the whole matter. So yeah, take that for what it is. Moving on to the next question that comes from Zato801 or Zado801. I'm bad with names. He asks, do you travel a lot, and what is your favorite place you've been to? Those Q&A vids sound like a great idea. I hope it will go on. Well, first off, thank you, sir. Thank you. I do hope as well. Now, to answer that question, yes, I do travel quite a bit. Well, I try to. I've been really into city trips lately. I just love to visit foreign cities and just explore whatever there is to explore, I guess. Because I'm not really the guy you see hanging around the pool or at the hotel or even at the beach all day long. That's not my kind of thing, you know. I like to move around, see all kinds of different places. Last summer, I went to the south of Spain to a little village called Nerja. That's how the locals call it. It's a beautiful place, really close to the mountains and to the beach. And it's probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. The food is great, the scenery is beautiful, and the women are even more beautiful than the scenery, so it's definitely worth going there again. So yeah, I hope that answered your question, good sir. Now the next question comes from The Common Turtle, and he asked, do you think the Battlefield franchise will ever get boring and or repetitive? And you should make a book about your sexual adventures. Also, you should probably go to a therapist about the whole shark thing. All they want are sharky hugs, and for the choking on water thing, you should try soda. It's not as dangerous as water, it just causes diabetes. I recommend Mountain Dew Voltage. Well, thank you for your lovely advice about the whole shark thing. You're probably right, I should see a therapist about the shark thing. But I'll just stick with the more cost-effective option for now, which is just staying away as far as possible from sharks and literally avoid every natural habitat a fish can live in. By the way, that Mountain Dew Voltage sound extremely delicious and dangerous at the same time. I'll definitely give that one a try if I get my hands on it. Now, do I think the Battlefield franchise will ever get boring or repetitive? Well, they already kind of are in a way, right? If you think about it. Every new Battlefield game just includes some new maps, some guns, and maybe some new gameplay features, like we saw in Battlefield 4. Gameplay features like L'Evolution or Commander Mode. But it certainly could get boring or just not enjoyable at all. You know, that is a possibility. There certainly is a big chance of that happening, seeing that they seem to release new Battlefield titles more frequently now. Even now, there are already rumors flying around of a new Battlefield game that should be based around police forces. I think as long as they focus on the core gameplay of a competitive FPS, Battlefield will remain good, at least to me. The core being a good netcode and a high tick rate, meaning that when you shoot someone, it actually hits them, which is not the case in Battlefield 4, and seeing in which state Battlefield 4 is right now, they obviously failed that. And the chances of them fixing it at this moment, they're becoming slimmer every day, but I'll discuss that more in depth in another video. Just Battlefield 4 is a great game, and it has a lot of potential, and if the netcode was as good, or even slightly better than it was in Battlefield 3, it would have been the best shooter today, but unfortunately, it isn't, because of those issues. And as a great Battlefield fan, that saddens me, but it won't stop me from pointing out the issues in Battlefield 4, definitely not. So I guess the short answer is yes, I think there is a chance of Battlefield becoming maybe boring or repetitive, especially now that a new studio is developing the next Battlefield game, or one of the next Battlefield games. Yeah, I hope that somehow answered your question. There definitely is a possibility. Now, moving on to the next question, and the last question, unfortunately. This one comes from Mr. Infinity himself, and he asked, who inspired you to make the videos that you do? Also, what's your favorite food you like to eat? Well, I'm going to start off by answering the second part of that question. I don't really have a favorite food, to be honest. I just have a bunch of them, like I guess most people have. Anything fried or Mediterranean sounds good to me. Now, as to who or what inspired me to make the videos that I do, or that I make, well, that's, oh man, that's a hard one, to be honest. I mean, I've always been passionate about cinematography and just films in general, and most of my inspiration, this is going to be surprising, but most of my inspiration comes from outside of YouTube, really. I'll always try to bring something special into my videos, and I just try to make videos. This is a good tip for you guys as well. I try to make videos that I would consider entertaining or good, not someone else. I'm not looking out there seeing what's working on YouTube. I'm looking at what I like, you know, what I would like on YouTube. And that's pretty much it. The stuff that I put on right now is really only the beginning. I mean, I've been into editing for about a year now, and I absolutely love it. And it's really the editing that got me into making YouTube videos. That, of course, and my love for video games. Speaking of video games, the Metal Gear Solid games and their creator Hideo Kojima is probably one of my biggest, or are probably one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to creating some of my content, especially some of my intros. I'm very passionate about making some of my cinematics look very cinematic, if that makes any sense, and just bringing in more emotion and depth into video games or video game footage is what I'm really into. And what you've seen right now is really just the beginning. You know, I'm a noob at YouTube and at editing right now. That's how I see myself. And I try to learn new editing techniques and effects every week if I can. And that's really the thing that I love the most about this whole YouTube journey, you know? The fact that I'm able to express my creativity in a way and be myself, but also learn and better myself during the whole process. That's what I absolutely love about this whole thing. And yeah, that's where I'm going to stop this Q&A, unfortunately. I'm still keeping these on the short side, but I would love to make them longer in the future and include more of your questions. So if you would like to see more and possibly longer Q&As, just let me know in the comments down below. And of course, state your Qs as well so I can include them in the next Q&A. thank you guys. Thank you for the huge amount of support I've been getting from you. You guys are the best, and I love your faces for it. Now, I also wasn't able to reply to the comments on my last 2 videos because for some reason the comments wouldn't appear, although they did pop up in the notification thing on Google+. So, yeah, that was kind of strange. So I couldn't answer your comments, but that has all been sorted out now, and I'll get back to answering your questions right after this video, I promise. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this video, if you like this Q&A and would like to see more, just show the like button some love. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. And of course, don't forget to submit your questions in the comments down below for the next Q&A. I'm Dolce, and I'll see your lovely faces in the next video.
I've been holding on forever.